Ever since I was little, I was told that words would never hurt me. And I truly believed that until my sophomore year of high school. It all started with a text message, and it escalated into Facebook. And they were all these mean messages being sent to me, and it really hurt my feelings. I then decided that I wasn't going to stand by and just let this happen to other kids. So I decided to take action. My first step of action was to compete in the Miss Teen International pageant. I did this because it was a platform pageant in which every girl speaks on an issue that she's passionate about, and mine was cyberbullying. I then carried my platform of cyberbullying into my senior project and established Stop Cyberbullying Missoula. So I think that the huge problem about cyberbullying is that nobody is talking about it. It's happening all over schools, all over teenagers' lives, but no one's really acknowledging it. So awareness is where it needs to start. I started a media campaign because I felt it was the best way to respond to cyberbullying is to get it exposed. So what exactly is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is the use of electronic communication to harass, intimidate, or threaten a person. This could be through Facebook, social media, email, and texting. A report said that 1 million children were harassed, threatened, or subjected to other forms of cyberbullying on Facebook in the past year. Another survey found that 8% of cyberbullying victims, compared to the 3% of people who were not bullied, considered taking their own lives. So I did a research paper on the mental effects that cyberbullying has on teenagers, and I found that the Cyberbullying Research Center interviewed 5,000 students, grades 6 to 8, and this is what they came up with, that 1.18% of those students considered taking their own lives, and those students were cyberbullied. 0.80% considered taking their own lives, but they weren't victims. So what does this mean? 4,400 deaths per year in the United States are due to suicide due to bullying. The 1.18% of 4,000 kids considered taking their own lives, which would have meant 45 of those 4,000 kids would have killed themselves because they were being cyberbullied. 3,728 deaths were reported in 2011 because kids took their own lives because they were being cyberbullied. So cyberbullying affects real lives, and it's happening every day, all day, in my age group, and in the younger kids all the way up to older people. So I think that it's really important to promote awareness of this topic and realize that this issue can't slip under the radar, because what point is it going to have to be where people start saying we need to do something about this, because does another kid actually need to die because of internet bullying? So where do the rights end and the consequences begin? There's 35 states that currently have cyberbully-specific laws. These laws have been refined from the electronic communication privacy to include that schools must have discipline specific to cyberbullying, and just installing the actual word of cyberbullying into the law. In Montana, there is no cyberbully law yet. I really want there to be a law. So there's the Privacy and Communications Law, which includes intimidation, threats, harassment, to annoy or offend someone, and this has to do with more older people. It's not really addressing the teens, where this problem is actually happening. So I decided to write a bill, and Ellie Hill sponsored my bill, and we're going to take it to the Montana legislature in 2013, and hopefully I'm going to be able to make cyberbullying illegal in our community. So what can you do to help stop cyberbullying? First of all, promote my slogan, "Don't reply, report." It's the best way for kids to handle cyberbullying, because once you don't reply, it kind of ends the communication right there, and it kind of stops it. And then once you report it, this issue can be taken away and these kids can suffer consequences for causing mental health problems and hurt to those kids who are being cyberbullied. A huge part is education on internet safety. I think that's a huge deal, and I really hope to bring an education program to the Missoula community so kids and parents can be educated on what cyberbullying is, how to spot it, and how to respond to it. I have a Facebook page, Stop Cyberbullying Missoula, and it has tons of information about my campaign, links to my posters, links to my TV interviews and radio interviews. So thank you for your attention.